Hello, hello. Hello, I'm Joseph George. Hello. I am Joseph George. I am the founder of New Physics project. I have differences. First, I want to stress is that English is not my first language, so please pardon me for my vocabulary. I have a limited vocabulary, and my grammar is also not perfect, so please pardon me with my English. Ether is an ancient concept from very long ago. People believed in a space-filling substance. Indians call Akash, and many philosophers think about such a substance. Ancient philosophers such as Aristotle, they believed in the existence of a space-filling ether. That in fact my studies supports this ether concept, that space is filled with a form of substance or medium. I have experimental. I can provide experimental evidence for this thing. I reached the conclusion from observing and studying the spent nuclear fuel. Spent nuclear fuel consists of a lot of information about what happens to a mass defect. So there are many anomalies associated with spent nuclear fuel. Currently, we do not have proper satisfactory explanation for many phenomena associated with spent nuclear fuel. They are considered today as less explained or anomalies. We do not have a proper explanation for such changes. However, I studied this phenomena, and I eventually realized that these phenomena, such as the microscopic changes, structural and morphological changes that happens to spent nuclear fuel, clearly suggest about macro explosions within each nuclei. When a nuclear fission reaction happens, we know that there is a tiny amount of mass defect, but this mass defect, in fact, is the study says that every mass defect is not directly converted to energy, as Einstein proposed. Special relativity sees mass and energy are different manifestations of for a same thing, same phenomenon. According to special relativity, mass can be directly converted to energy and vice versa. And there are currently accepted experiments or supporting evidences, such as increasing mass of a moving body is considered as the conversion of energy into mass, and the missing mass, the release of energy associated with the mass defect in nuclear reaction, is considered today as evidence for the conversion of mass into energy. However, my studies leads to a different direction, that the microscopic analysis of spent nuclear fuel leads to a different direction, and there are numerous changes that happens to spent nuclear fuel clearly shows the explosive behavior of within the nucleus. When a nuclear fission happens, the missing mass creates powerful micro explosion, and those explosions clearly suggest or demonstrate the possibility of a powerful explosion. So when something explode means, for example, a chemical explosion. We know that a chemical explosion happens when the chemical substance or the explosive material, when it oxidizes, it in a very fraction of a second, it becomes a superheated gas. So the chemical explosion releases energy. We know that chemical explosion releases energy because of a change in the state of matter. In a solid state or liquid, any solid state or matter, the chemical explosion, when it oxidizes, in a very rapidly it becomes a superheated gas. That is the explanation for the chemical explosion. However, based on my research, nuclear explosion also happens in a very similar way. In fact, the missing mass rapidly volumetrically expand and explode. So this explosion propels the reaction products. Recently, I attended a conference in Delhi, international conference. So I presented, this was my core presentation about what happens to a mass defect and how nuclear energy is released. There are numerous experimental evidences. We can observable facts which clearly suggest about the explosive behavior of missing mass. Each nuclear fission reaction creates a powerful explosion. So this explosion propels the reaction products. So the reaction products or reaction fragments gain their kinetic energy because of this from this explosive behavior of the missing mass. So the significance of this study is very huge. It is a significant. It has a significant impact. Once we realize the explosive transformation of the missing mass, it leads to the fact that the missing mass does not vanish as suggested by special relativity. Special relativity says that the missing mass annihilated and it converts directly into energy. However, this study, the new study, suggests that the missing mass volumetrically expands and explodes. So mass or matter is not lost. It just simply converts into some new form of substance. In fact, it's a physical change. It's simply a physical change. Nothing is lost. Mass is not lost. So, if once we realize this thing, its impact is that the significance is that mass defect is not confined. It is a cosmic. every energy in the mass of it is a universal phenomenon. Every active star, supernova, like merger, all this event creates mass effects on a large scale. So once we realize the conversion of energy mass into a new form of matter, it suggests that space is filled with this kind of matter. So once we realize the existence of space-filling substance, it has the potential to rewrite everything what we currently know about the universe. So it directly supports the Aether concept proposed by ancient people. So my studies, according to new physics project, space filling Aether is a reality, and even though I have differences in the concept, the properties of this space filling substance, I completely realize is its potential. In fact, its existence. I have written a book either assist a few years ago. It is available for purchase if you are interested. And I am an independent researcher. I am preparing my research papers for peer review. I need more resources to publish my work, to purchase my I need scientific instruments, computational devices, and that. So I need more resources. So I am waiting for more. As an independent researcher, I need support to do my research. So if you are interested, you can purchase my books, and you can also purchase my products from my store. We have a store, online store. You can purchase many items from my website. I pinned it in the description, and also it is displayed in the screen. So if you are interested, you can purchase. That way you can support my research, and also I welcome to join as a member in this channel. It will be helpful for my research. So anyway, Ether is a real substance. It's real. In fact, Ether is Ether indeed exists, and it can explain many important phenomena that we currently study and explore through the lens of special relativity, general relativity, and quantum mechanics. So it's a very interesting area of study. So I welcome everybody who are interested for discussions, and so you can rewrite many currently accepted theories in so I welcome you all to explore this study. here I will get a better understanding of the ancient ether concept. We play a test of the ether concept. So listen ancient concept.
In Greek philosophy, especially in Aristotle, ether was the fifth element beyond earth, water, air, and fire. While the four terrestrial elements were mutable and corruptible, ether was perfect, eternal, and weightless, composing the heavens. The sun, moon, planets, and stars were thought to be embedded in crystalline spheres made of ether, executing uniform circular motion deemed natural only to this substance.
The concept of ether, also spelled ether or ether, is one of the most enduring ideas in the history of science and philosophy. While modern physics has largely moved past it, the ancient view of ether was that of a fifth element, a substance that filled the regions of the universe beyond the terrestrial sphere. Here is a breakdown of how the concept evolved in ancient thought. 1. Ancient Greek philosophy. In Greek mythology, ether was the personification of the upper air that the gods breathed, distinct from the air, lower air, breathed by mortals. Philosophers later formalized this into a physical and metaphysical framework. Aristotle's fifth element. Aristotle is most famous for defining ether as the quintessence, the fifth element. While earth, water, air, and fire were subject to change, decay, and linear motion, Aristotle argued the heavens must be made of something immutable. Properties. It was eternal, ageless, and moved only in perfect circles. Purpose. It filled the space of the celestial spheres where the planets and stars resided. The Stoics. For the Stoic philosophers, ether was linked to the concept of pneuma, breath or spirit. They viewed it as a fiery substance that permeated the entire cosmos, acting as the cohesive force that gave structure to matter and directed the growth of living things. 2. The Indian concept of Akasha. Long before the Greeks, Indian Vedic philosophy described a similar concept known as Akasha. It is often considered the closest ancient equivalent to the ether. The first element. In the Pancha Mahabhuta, 5 great elements, system, Akasha is the first element created, from which the others, air, fire, water, earth, emerge. The medium of sound. Ancient Indian texts define Akasha as the substratum of Shabda, sound. Since sound requires a medium to travel, Akasha was seen as the omnipresent substance that allowed for the transmission of vibration. Characteristics. It is described as eternal, all-pervading, and imperceptible to the senses, yet it provides the space and vessel for all physical existence to occur. 3. Comparison of ancient views. Feature. Greek ether, Aristotelian, Indian Akasha. Position. The highest, or fifth element. The first, or foundational element. Location. Only in the celestial realm, the heavens. Everywhere, all-pervading throughout the cosmos. Nature. Purely material, physical substance. Both physical, medium, and metaphysical. Space, consciousness. Motion. Defined by circular movement. defined by stillness and containing all movement. 4. Transition to modern science. The ancient concept eventually morphed into the luminiferous ether of the 17th–19th centuries. Scientists like Isaac Newton and later James Clerk Maxwell hypothesized a medium that filled empty space to explain how light waves could travel through a vacuum. This was eventually challenged by the Michelson–Morley experiment and Einstein's theory of relativity, which replaced the need for a physical medium with the concept of the spacetime fabric. Would you like to explore how these ancient views compare to modern theories of dark energy or the quantum vacuum? The New Physics Project is an ambitious research initiative that seeks to challenge established paradigms in modern physics, specifically Einstein's special and general relativity, and replace them with a model centered on a physical, space-filling medium. The project is characterized by its return to classical mechanics to explain quantum and relativistic phenomena. Here are the core pillars of the project. The New Physics Project. The Exploding Mass Defect Hypothesis, EMDH. This is the foundational theory of the project. It reinterprets the energy release in nuclear reactions. The concept. Rather than mass simply converting into abstract energy, E equals mc squared, the hypothesis posits that the mass defect represents physical matter that undergoes a micro-explosion. The result. This explosion transforms concentrated nuclear matter into a space-filling substance, ether, akasha. Evidence. The project identifies spent nuclear fuel as a key area of study, suggesting that the physical characteristics and thermal behavior of spent fuel provide evidence for these micro-explosive events. 2. Reimagining the ether. Unlike the 19th century, luminiferous ether, the New Physics Project views ether as a dynamic, material substance, medium for light. Light is treated as a longitudinal or pressure wave within this medium, rather than a self-propagating dual-particle wave in a vacuum. Gravitational lensing. Instead of space-time curvature, the project explains the bending of light as a refraction effect caused by varying densities of the ether medium around massive bodies. Radio waves. These are redefined as oscillating magnetic far fields moving through the medium. 3. Challenges to relativity. The project systematically offers alternative explanations for effects usually attributed to relativity. Time dilation. Instead of time itself slowing down, the project suggests that the physical processes of clocks are affected by their motion through the ether or by local ether density. Atomic structure. The project explores new models of the atom that align with these fluid dynamic principles, moving away from purely probabilistic quantum mechanics. 4. Current developments and outreach. The project is currently transitioning from theoretical development to public dissemination and peer review. Peer review. Research is being prepared for journals like Foundations of Physics and conferences like NewMat 2026. Digital presence. The project operates under the handle @Aether model, with plans for educational content and a book series including titles like Relativity in Question and Ether Exists. Public presentation. A presentation titled Spent Nuclear Fuel as Evidence for Micro-Explosive Fission Events was recently shared at the IAMNOP 2025 conference in New Delhi. Was recently shared. was recently shared. Was recently shared.